no, the bounce back is absolutely imperative. Otherwise, TYLOO could make one of the biggest shocks of Pro League become a reality. Pistol round is underway, and it's very fast from Falcons in toward mid, in toward B as a split. dupreeh's doing fantastic work already, and he's already doubled down as well.
Yeah, it feels like the round's over before it's even really begun, especially with Magic's now getting this control over towards middle. And, oh, they're just taking everything. Okay, confidence from Falcons. And that, to be honest, that's what you really want to see. Feel like the individuals are better on the side of the Falcons, so they're just going to use that to their advantage. Straight in towards middle, no resistance. dupreeh only needs himself to deal with the threat on B. It's a very comfortable start, and you blink, you certainly would have missed it because Falcons have already claimed the pistol. And that was something they were unable to do in Mirage as well, by the way.
Exactly. Lost both pistols to TYLOO, and Falcons, well, maybe the answer is the W key. And that definitely was the answer on that pistol round. Forced TYLOO, obviously, onto a full eco. Not choosing to force up. Making sure they get the rifles as early as possible. And Falcons, once again, actually not wasting any time at all. Straight into B. Bomb will go down, and now Snappy has a chance to do some farming. Takes Advent. Plus some damage to Kaze. Looking for some more as a smoke play from Jam Young, which is attempted, and that forces Snappy away. Now down to 2 HP. He'll swap the Mac 10 to someone else, so they can try and get the bonus cash. Snappy will try and run away, far away from the enemies and the bomb as possible.
Yeah, controlled. Also, you're not showing anything too dissimilar from the pistol. You just go back in towards B. TYLOO going for a little bit of a stack over towards A, not working out, but it's fine. They didn't invest anyway. Kaze hoping to maybe grab a kill, or at the very least, just survive and make sure he doesn't die to a Mac 10, because that would suck, and he does. So that's 600 more for Team Falcons. Very powerful, and a statement if they can come out of this swinging on towards Vertigo, if they can just kind of sit TYLOO down a little bit, make them feel a little bit silly after TYLOO made them have head in their hands after ninja in round 24. That's not fair. Come on, how on earth have you got that kill? You're on the ladder, man.
Ladder accuracy is funny. Let's put it that way. It is just funny. Sometimes it can go your way, sometimes every single bullet. Hey!
Oh dear.
Well, we all saw that. We didn't need to talk about it. So don't worry, Madden. We'll save you your blushes. ZDR in mid, popping his head up every now and then. Actually, dupreeh not seeing that. ZDR will take that frag. Kaze finds Madden, but the trades are even, and now ZDR is forced to be the point man toward B instead. He mentioned his individual level, and he's been stepping up brilliantly in Pro League so far, and that is a super triple.
This guy's got to be like a LAN player, because online, and yeah, if you actually take a look at some of his stats with this team, some of his ratings in games were lower than Advent.
Yeah.
But online, he's a different beast. Unlocked. He said, trust me, guys, when it comes to just face-to-face, man on man, I've got it.
Well, I mean, as Machine said in our opening piece, of course, there's kind of nothing that is known about this guy at all. You search his real-life name, all you come across is one name associated with a Chinese university and some sort of space engineering or something, according to Mr. Maui Snake, I believe. So, yeah, he is... you don't even get the HLTV profile, or at least didn't a few weeks ago, get his HLTV profile as a first result. But it might be the first result of many if he continues to put in performances like this at Pro League. Spray was a little bit messy, but it was only the SMG on Snappy, and he just played the timing and the angles to perfection. TYLOO get their first gun round, imperative for them.
Space engineering, does that mean you're saying TYLOO diamond hands to the moon? It's that kind of the angle we're going for?
I don't know, I'm going to have to...
No, that's not the angle Jam Young was looking for.
True. I'm going to
Falcons are getting consistent entries. Go look for it.
I'm going to
find consistent entries towards B. Advent, ow, naded, but doesn't do as much damage as the Falcons would have hoped for. And actually, he creeps in close. He wants to get a bit cheeky with it, is holding for the boost that Snappy was thinking about erecting, but not going to be the case. Instead, they're going to back on out of there. So Magisk is just going to be left to lurk. Mercury finding Madden alleviates a bit of pressure for TYLOO out A. Oh, Mercury wants more.
4. Drop down. He definitely got more on Mirage. He was their MVP for that map without a doubt. Mercury will still stay on aggressive angle. That's can be hard to deal with when only heads are being shown from that position. You can have multiple swinging you at once, of course. Magisk trying to clear out B in the meantime, and that resmoke can be crept past. There's the dink on SunPayus. Mercury will drop a flash to his teammate, and Magisk, oh, this could be big. Advent has no idea that he's wandered through, and now he could do so much more work. Mercury tries to go aggressive off the back of that contact, and he may take that kill. And yes, that could change things. 14 seconds. Uh-oh. It's a 3v2 for TYLOO. It's on the ramp, and despite what Magisk is doing right now, he's way too far away to deal with this.
That's the bomb. TYLOO decide to go aggressive after they hear the retreat back. They look at the clock and they think, if we can somehow get rid of this C4, that's the round over and done with. And if you're Falcons, you've shown the ace up the sleeve. Magisk lurking. That's not going to happen anymore, surely. That's going to be considered all the way through from TYLOO. Advent will make sure that he's jiggling effectively to the point where they can't cross. So it's a really nice idea from Team Falcons, but they leave it way too late to rotate. That lurk timing, it was activated, but it was so delayed to the point that they couldn't capitalize upon it.
Wow. More good work from TYLOO. Perfect timing on the swing from Mercury. And yeah, I have found the infamous tweet that I was talking about from Mr. Maori Snake himself. If you search up Dongroy Zhang, he barely has any history as a competitive CS player, but he studies dark matter at Southeast Uni in Nanjing. What a baller. Well, there's some dark matter on the server right now. And it's the matter of Falcons all over the server. Because TYLOO continue to do such great work in this series, Brandon.
Oh, all right. Snappy on Jam Young. That was something on Mirage that was not happening. Jam Young being bested in entries, and now Advent completely alone at B. Needs to be careful. Has got the reinforcement of ZDR. And he looks to take first contact, gets decimated, and so too does Advent. Falcons yet again return to the scene of the original crime. This B bomb site has been potent for them, and it continues to be a problem for TYLOO. They need to save, and with those couple of rifles that were carried forward from the previous, the Falcons make it work once more.
Yeah, they are abusing B right now, and Falcons are actually making it look really nice on that side of the map. Advent 0 and 5 struggling a little bit to hold them at bay. And ZDR, of course, when he rotates in, he's basically had one successful situation. So yeah, we'll have to see if they can figure out a change up to the setup there for TYLOO. It's only 3-2 Falcons. It's not like it's a absolute nightmare. And I think probably going by how successful they've been on their T sides for the entirety of Pro League so far, I think they'll be, if they can get 4 or 5 on CT, they'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made. Obviously, that they'd want as many as possible, I think. 5, I think, is a good benchmark for TYLOO. Yes. I feel like this crossfire should have been set up a different way. I feel like Advent should be taking the first contact there and setting up ZDR a little bit deeper on B, but not to be. Timeout now being called for TYLOO as well. Joe can get on the mic and just say to his boys, what happened there then? Come on. We're better than this.
Joe King keeping watch, of course, coach of TYLOO, analyst as well. Great player in his own right back in the day for the likes of Vici, of course. I think, wasn't he like one of those players that had a really interesting like mouse grip and monitor mouse pad placement? Like really wide out to his right or something? Was it Joe King? It might have been. So I'm thinking of like a 2017 repressed memory, so apologies if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. Careful with those, Trav.
Right. Round 6. Mercury pushing forward. Trying to spam down Madden. He knows exactly where he is as that smoke is blown open. The buy for TYLOO, of course, isn't perfect. But Falcons definitely in touch early doors, unlike how Mirage went for them. Flash over the top. Snappy, great reaction. Mercury down. So DR boosted in mid, looking for something if alert comes through. But it might have to all be Jam Young.
He backs up, but that molly's designed to force them in towards Gap and have that peak. Jam Young even gets spammed through the girder in. Meanwhile, you've got this flank going on. dupreeh, this time spreading his wings a little bit in towards mid. 45 seconds, boost up, dealt with. Snappy has been sharp all series long. There will be a trade from Kaze and Jam Young on the sliver. Can he recreate the same impact as Mercury? No, he can't. But at least Kaze is doing the damage. But with this lurk from dupreeh, surely it's already locked in.
Yeah. It's all about the timing. I mean, Kaze is actually wandering past Heaven back into CT, and dupreeh could actually get caught on this. And yes, he will be. Unfortunately, low HP on Kaze. He's got 3 kills with the M4, but no kit, and Advent was always far away, so they were always committing to a save despite that frag. Sadly for TYLOO, but Falcons are stabilizing. We saw them with that recovery at the end of Mirage. Sure, they lost the map, but they were playing catch-up. And Snappy is hitting some important headshots. He mentioned he was trying to work on his individual level in an interview recently. And it's a good start to Vertigo for him. 2 critical headshots.
A really good reaction as well, just to play anti-flash and then just duck his head out. It's like TYLOO playing whack-a-mole on the ramp, and it is so difficult to try and hit the heady. Very sharp shots, even considering the boost at the first instance is fantastic. Kaze doing a little bit of damage, but ultimately it won't matter. SunPayus out with the AWP. And it's going to be Kaze's save rifle. That's the MVP weapon of the round for TYLOO. I feel like what's improved quite a lot from this map compared to last map for the Falcons is the decision making is almost immediate. They're not second guessing themselves, they're just trusting the calls and the process. Madden being battered and bruised, but he still finds kills, and SunPayus bails him out in the second encounter. Mercury will find him, so that's an AK that can be scavenged at the bare minimum, but it probably forces Falcons into B.
Yeah, and the MP9 is the only thing here.
Hello.
Utility over the top. Mercury, he is quite fast on this flank. We have problems for Falcons. Can it do work? Oh, it can. He gets 2. That's huge. It activates Advent to swing, but no, that's a great recovery from SunPayus, and he even gets the last as well. What did we say about him up close and personal with the AWP? He uses it to perfection there, pulling out the dualies at the right time. Very well judged.
Again, I feel like it's just these little communication hurdles for TYLOO as well there. If Advent, they weren't looking at him. They weren't considering that he could be there. They were holding just in case he peeks over the top of the danger sign. But it's Mercury that takes the first contact. If the MP9 swings wide, that surely just enables the flank, and it makes the trade space a little bit better there for TYLOO. Superb individual form from SunPayus. He well and truly is back online. Misses the shot for the first time of asking, but at least gives the team space on the stairs.
Advent stuck behind mid-box as well. Banked nade off the girder in case someone is playing white box. Not this time for Falcons.
It's a lot of utility invested at B for the Falcons. Sure, they've got enough to execute still, but that was 3 Molotovs, a couple of HEs, flashbangs over the top, just to feign that they were going to be there. 1 flashbang sets up everyone. and draws an incendiary of its own out of Jam Young. Mercury over the top. Jam Young down low. This ramp defense is holding. And SunPayus, the only man to potentially save the Falcons, but Mercury's on an off angle. The swing down close in the molly. You can see more if you're closer to that molly and you are further back.
Yes.
It's Jam Young and Mercury that trust the process. TYLOO holds strong at A.
Yeah, and it's obviously that they've got their two best players pretty much, of course, on A as well. We know how important this position is on the map. It's the main focal point. So often contact is taken, and having Mercury and Jam Young there feels so strong for TYLOO. It might convince Falcons to stick with B, to be honest. That's where they've had the most of their success. Now we get into an interesting situation for Falcons. Their economy is low now. That's to fully reinvest. Snappy on a Mac 10. Oh, Jam Young, nice angle again, next to the girder, behind the fence, repositions to sandbags. This is a textbook ramp hold from Jam Young. The nade does damage to SunPayus too, forces him away. This first half could still be very competitive and very
Covering all bases there, TYLOO. Madden's tried that play a few times, just creeping through the left side of the lurk smoke. And they've even got a player in towards mid in ZDR. Jam Young, he's actually repositioned. Was originally at sandbags and now at the top of the gap smoke. Snappy is up close. Jam Young's got to be really careful as this smoke starts to dissipate, but instead, maybe it's the Falcons who should be worried. Snappy will trade, but it comes at a heavy cost. Both him and dupreeh are licking their wounds. Another molly. That's to try and deny that Mercury's here. They're trying to sell the idea that he's not invested in towards the sandbags. dupreeh considering it, but there's no disruptive utility. No mollies, no HEs. They need to clear this one manually.
Oh, this is going to be so tough. A great HE, and Mercury, he gets his one, but dupreeh, what a lineup. Advent pushing forward, and he can't find the kill. dupreeh, again, the impact player, the new boy, but he's an old boy as well, isn't he? He's got all the experience, all the talent, and the legend finds another quad kill for Falcons.
Sick. Sure, they line up, but it still takes precision just to knock off all of those players. And it's the adjustment as well, because he was the guy that gutted out Mercury at sandbags on a swivel. Feels like an instantaneous flick. Falcons take a timeout. They understand the importance of this round as well, because TYLOO have got a decision to make. It's not going to be a pretty one. It has to be pistols. They can't buy rifles off the back of it, which means it gives Team Falcons the stabilization they need on the economy for the rest of the half.
Yeah.
Started off so well as well. Jam Young doing so much, even getting this dink on towards Snappy right at the very end. But I mean, what can you do about this?
Incredible work. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, people are looking at this Falcons team and rightly saying, wow, well, the average age is up to over 28. dupreeh, of course, is not exactly a young talent. But you know what, man? I still think he's got so much to give individually. I think he's still got a superb level. And we've seen it multiple times in this series, despite Falcons struggling. And they got the perfect timing on the ramp push in this round as well. Madden gets both this time. Nice shot, Jam Young. But 3 versus 4. With only the pistols, of course. This should be Falcons getting at least a 7-5.
Oh, Advent. That's a way to announce yourself on Vertigo. Just a gap over the top of the smoke. They're looking to do damage, but yeah, again, a B lurk. Magisk. Oh, he's so close. Advent spots him. And now they're mollied off. Oh, dear.
Annoying.
Well, this one's done. Well done from Magisk.
Something that I've always loved as just an enjoyer of sport and an enjoyer of Counter-Strike for so long as well. I always love when old legends show they've still got it, right? There'll be people around the scene doubting them at every single turn. But especially dupreeh, I think he commands a lot of respect, and I respect him highly for what he's done for the game. Record-breaking major winner. Still performing at Pro League at a high level. saw it yesterday, even in that loss versus the Mongols as well. Oh, snappy. Mercury playing with the angle. Bit dangerous. ZDR boost up in mid. This is very hard to get more than one in this position. And the boost could come through as well. He actually gets the wall bang to the edge of the box and then a clean shot to finish it off on dupreeh. He'll be allowed to fall away. So important for TYLOO.
Snappy knows that Mercury was hanging around here. And he's got a lot of space over towards ramp. At the same time, he's still got this B threat consistently. Falcons have been able to, in the mid to late round, just take all this space for free. As TYLOO, they shouldn't overlook it and take it for granted. Bomb firmly on the back of Madden. A ramp uncontested, suspiciously quiet, but as soon as I say that, a well-timed incendiary comes in, halts the progression, and a smoke thrown in the face at gap. Plenty more utility to recycle, and you've also got ZDR that could come and help out.
"35 seconds. Utility for Falcons could be the main point that locks TYLOO out of this one. Have a nice renade again. That's been doing a lot of damage very successfully in this game, but in comes Snappy, leaping his way into Mercury. Important frag for Mercury to stay alive and continue to be such a nuisance. Now 16 seconds, and Falcons, they're being picked off one by one. SunPayus tries his best. Jamyoung finds Madden, and that will just activate Kaze to peak for the trade. Fourth for TYLOO. I said 4 or 5 would be very decent, and we'll keep them in touch on that T side where they find a lot of success in Pro League so far. And the money for Falcons isn't great. So TYLOO in a decent position.
It's all on the mid round, by the way, of Advent. Because he actually takes the space over at B. And he does activate his flank, but also it means that Kaze can come over and help out. ZDR confirms, okay, well, I don't see anyone else in towards mid. I've felt no resistance. I'll find the initial one towards dupreeh. So Advent takes the space. And speaking of space taken, Snappy tries it in towards mid, straight into the crosshairs of Kaze. Falcons want to end this round on B. A boost up, potentially for Madden. But everyone's playing a little bit further back for TYLOO.
ZDR in a position. This boost could do so much damage here. Nice check, though. Superb flash from Jamyoung. And Magisk will get removed. ZDR will at least get that one, but Jamyoung will drop after that flash support. Advent, oh, he's got himself on top of the mid box. That's bold, but it gets him his second kill of the half and the game. And with a minute to go, SunPayus and dupreeh shouldn't have much say in this one. SunPayus has a okay timing at working his way through gap, but only the Tech 9, and Kaze is keeping an eye on it in case he goes for a flank through elevator or even through heaven. He's going to try and play close to take space, and that's what Kaze is keeping watch on. Now he's under pressure, though, because that is going to be a difficult position to clear out. He needs to wait for his teammates to come through and help. A remolly from SunPayus will be handy as well. Unfortunately for Falcons, dupreeh only on 42 health in this situation. TYLOO still have a lot of utility. Flash in to maybe help out. They've got kits. They've got time to deal with this one. And there's Advent doing more good work. And it's dupreeh stuck on default. What a first. What a second. Oh, I was feeling it. But TYLOO do get their 5th. And once again, stay in close touch with the Falcons. TYLOO continuing to be a problem for Falcons. It's only a 7-5 half, and they go into their T side, a side which they have done lots of great work in Pro League so far on. Very much in touch. And Brandon, G2 versus the Mongols on the A stream. Mongols are a map up and 11-4 up. What's going on?
11-5. I'm hot on the refreshes. 5 in as much as I can. But yeah,
Fascinating, man.
Incredible result over there for the Mongols if they're able to pull it off. What a story this would be for TYLOO if they're able to take this series as well. Still a long way to go. 3 players heavily advancing towards mid for the Falcons as well. For TYLOO, thought about heading towards B, but instead refocusing their efforts over towards A ramp.
Yeah, it looks pretty basic for TYLOO. They've got a smoke and a molly. It's enough to maybe use towards sandbags or toward double stack.
That boost for dupreeh as well. That's unusual in pistol rounds.
Yeah, very often you see this with the M4s on big gun rounds in big specific situations, but on pistols it's going to be hard to deal damage. But dupreeh, if there's one person and one in that position, it's him. However, he drops off the boost and they line up. Jamyang and Mercury once again. It's the TYLOO dynamic duo to do more work. Jamyang stuck on default. That reload, of course, will be heard, but he's helped out by Mercury. 4 versus 2. Madden is stuck. He gets triple swung. And SunPayus' flank is not going to do a thing.
Yeah, they already knew it was there. So as soon as they get the kills, they fight forward on the bomb site. They just reset and take that space. And ZDR is even hoping to potentially remove him right at the very end of the round. That was strong from TYLOO, and it's really simple as just taking a minute to breathe. They have a little look at B. They decide they don't fancy it. They head to A, and they just immediately deal with the threat. dupreeh, it's a good collection, but they're already far scaled up towards Gap. That's the kind of detriment of playing so far deep in the site.
Spooky, but no worries. Kevlar is saved for SunPayus. Every little helps. Yeah, that boost is, as you see the lineup there, just tough to deal with, right?
It's that duo that needs to be online, though.
Yes.
Mercury, Jamyang.
Again, Falcons going for a little bit of an investment. It's only SunPayus to keep a little bit in reserve. Of course, with that Kevlar saved over, the Deagle can be purchased up, and he still has 750 in the bank. Future AWP a little bit closer, but it's a full investment elsewhere. This boost up for the MP9s. This could be so impactful. We know how accurate the MP9 is mid-air, but only a bit of chip damage on Advent. They'll try it again. Do they expect it a second time? Being very cheeky with this one, our Falcons. TYLOO are very aware there's at least 2 or 3 players in this position.
Madden will find one. And now he goes into the smoke as well, and they're kissing. ZDR and Madden are just touching in the smoke, and Madden finds another. It's all falling apart. TYLOO will at least bring it back into a 2-on-2, but the rotates are already here. Bomb needs to be committed from Kaze, but he feels a little bit uncomfortable. Mercury now worried about the potential flank, but it's all frontal facing from the Falcons.
That HE forces Kaze wide as well. They've got time to figure this one out. I like the fact they haven't rushed into a plant here. The chance he could get rushed down, and once again, it's Mercury. This kid is insane. It's dupreeh 1v2. Again, not committing to the plant. Will change position of it. dupreeh trying to gauge his timing. He finds the first and the second. It's dupreeh again for Falcons. Up to a 2KD. 14 and 7. Triple kill. Clutch.
But how many times are they going to have to rely on dupreeh here? That's the danger here for the Falcons, because none of these rounds are comfortable. Madden makes a sick play. He puts it into a 4-on-2. He makes it completely impossible, you'd think, for TYLOO to recover, especially after that second kill onto ZDR. But Kaze and Mercury between them make this a conversation piece, and it's yet again up to that man to bail Falcons out of trouble.
He's so damn good and so damn clean with it as well. There was no panic in that situation whatsoever. I mean, do we expect anything less? I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. There's never panic from dupreeh. So perfectly played. The only very nitpicky criticism I could have of TYLOO in that scenario is the fact that they did kind of reposition this into the open. I know you don't want to run in those scenarios to reveal your position as you shift away from the site. Advent putting his hands up there as if to say, guys, calm down. We're good. We're in this game. But yeah, they just couldn't get themselves away from being in no man's land.
Even if I think Mercury... Actually, I think Kaze was a player that was a little bit further back. If they go in towards sandbags, they can still hold that angle that they were trying to cover off. On the left-hand side of elevator. It would have been a tighter one, but it would have been a safer one. For sure. I agree with what you're saying. Forced by, of course, back in for TYLOO. Both of the team's economy hanging on a knife's edge. So the force buy wars will carry on. Advent thinking about B. Kaze hoping that someone gets aggressive with these Tech 9s, not to B. With mid-space also being acquired, it could be a fast split in towards this site.
Yeah, of course. Forced by battle, forced by war, now commences. Mercury and ZDR with the Galils, just peeking toward mid from SunPayus. The flash is spot on, and he actually judges the spray really nicely. Makes sure he doesn't commit to a full transfer with the 20 bullets in the A1S. He takes his time and gets himself to calm and calculated. And now the two Tech 9s of Advent and Kaze are, well, they are swarmed. Kaze does really well to find one, and any kill in this sort of situation is impactful to the Falcons' economy. So it's worth playing time on this one. Worth being a nuisance, and worth looking for one more kill.
Or a bomb plant. Can he make it A? Maybe not.
He can, but they'd be there quickly, wouldn't they? To stop
he knows
that.
His gun's in middle, so he's probably going to go in towards middle, grab a Galil, and save that, because then he can drop a Galil or he can drop a Tech 9, and then that's two weapons in the next rather than just one. Kaze wants more. All right. Don't mind it, but Madden occupies the same angle as dupreeh did in towards mid, just standing on top of that sandbag.
Yeah, you can look at it two ways, can't you? I mean, you can look at it as if to say, well, I could save, but then it would be a bit awkward in terms of the economy across the team. One player would have a lot less, of course, and Kaze being the AWPer probably wants to commit to get his loss bonus. So they're all evened up. And yeah, Falcons play it well. A little bit calmer now. 9-6. Should be 10-6 in a matter of a minute and 40 seconds, if not less.
Fun flash. However, doesn't really achieve all that much because there's so many players here from Falcons just to kind of stamp out that threat. There was even a flank as well with the MP9. So there we go, job done. Another check in the box. Falcons on the way to recovery, on the way to stabilizing this series, trying to force us to that third map, of course, after TYLOO with their Ninja prevented overtime on Mirage.
Yes.
But here's where I get excited. Sure, all these pistols, all these force buys, the gun rounds is what I'm interested in. Kaze doesn't actually have enough money for the AWP, so SunPayus is one uncontested completely, and he's going really aggressive in towards middle, and has got the support from dupreeh, so he can hang around here for a bit longer.
Oh, chance to duel the sandbags, and yes, this support is huge. Edmund's just going to have to duel all on his own, and of course dupreeh playing that awkward angle as well behind the box, which, behind the pallets, which is just so hard to clear out. You don't know it's there until it swings. SunPayus is accurate with it. We said we wanted to see a good game from the outset from him, and he absolutely is delivering that. Madden will find Advent. Good response from ZDR and Mercury. And they know Mercury, of course, is... Oh, never mind. Ignore my point. Snappy has just dealt with it all with the SMG. Another 2 kills from him, and ZDR is left in a 1v3. We saw a 1v4 against G2, but this is even more difficult, I think. Spots the sandbags jump spot. We'll go back to check the flank because Magisk is pushing slowly. Spotly doesn't go across the ramp angle, stays in the Z connector. Do you have a specific call out for that connector? Sometimes I call it Z. It's a weird shape. I don't know.
Behind there in the snake thing. or Z, or just connector.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, that when you're in the heat of the moment, you can't exactly say, guys, is in the B stairs connector bit to A. Yeah,
Flank.
So you do have a dropout from the server. Don't worry, there isn't some cloning going on.
Be a good save, to be fair.
2 ZDRs, and it is a good save from ZDR with the AWP. They don't have an AK save as well. There is only one of ZDR. Yeah, it's a good save. I think we'll probably have a quick tech pause to figure this out, but it shouldn't be too long.
That was a really nice round from the Falcons, and what they employed there is just a double bait and switch. They knew, TYLOO knew that Falcons were playing a player towards sandbags. They shouldn't have the utility to deal with it. So Snappy sets up the flash to enable Madden to peek out gap. And by him getting that kill on towards the tarpaulin, it enables Snappy to get close. And he knows he doesn't have to deal with a player that's over there. As soon as they get the confirmed info that both players are towards the sandbag, Snappy can just swing through the smoke and he cleans up shop.
Yeah. Clean round. You talk about getting excited about the gun rounds, Brandon. Well, I can tell you one team that is very excited right now. The Mongols have 2-0'd G2. And it's not even a close game. It's 13-4, 13-7.
Okay.
The Asia region is here to play in Pro League, in Malta. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, it feels like we do need that decider, though, for the current shape of things. Unless Kaze and ZDR pop off and have an insane round, we're looking at a lot of map points here for Falcons. Nice shot from SunPayus. There he is. Exactly what you need from him. Mercury, though, he wields the sniper as well. But dupreeh in towards mid has taken a lot of real estate. And he can immediately be on this flank. TYLOO are locked and condemned to this A ramp.
Four versus 4. Minute to go. Madden in that sandbags position. Jamyoung has an all-important Molotov. Does he use it there? He's looking at it. But look at the time that has been wasted. The nades actually clear him out beautifully, but wait a moment. It may be a 3v2. Look at this flank. It's dupreeh again. There goes Jamyoung, and now Advent has to plant way on the left, not on default itself. And dupreeh's just doing it all for Falcons at the moment. Advent is stuck. He's got no helmet. And he's got 2 players fighting him down. It's Magic's to take it, but once again, it's all down to the calmness and expertise of dupreeh.
Plays that so well. You can see he's looking at players. Sure, TYLOO have gone around the ramp, and you feel like that could get a little bit chaotic. That could get a little bit scary, especially when the sandbags play is dealt with by the utility. They find another opener onto SunPayus from Elevator. But it's the speed at which dupreeh executes this flank. As soon as the contact's been taken, he deals with Jamyoung and then he just keeps pressing the issue forward. ZDR and Advent can't get set up in these after plants, and once again leaves them completely exposed. Map point. 6 of them for the Falcons, and I don't think they'll make the same mistakes as they did on Mirage. Even if they don't win this round, the amount of damage that they inflict is just going to burden TYLOO for the future. But they'll definitely want to be taking it in round number 19.
Yeah, this is a bit more of the TYLOO we saw in the first map yesterday against G2, right? On Ancient, it was a promising start. And the second half was when G2 pulled away. This is a carbon copy, pretty much. Just a different map. dupreeh toward white box. It's going to be a fast play from TYLOO, and dupreeh is still playing such a beautiful position. He gets himself 2 nice trades from Mercury, but Madden is here, and Mercury's getting spammed down through the generator. 33 points of health remaining, and now Snappy's here to help, but Mercury considerably low, still doing it all, and SunPayus has missed his shot close range. Tech9 out. It's madness. 1 versus 2 for SunPayus. Mercury with 3. Jamyoung bailing his teammate out on that sandbags angle near white box to get a really critical kill. Can SunPayus close out Vertigo for the Falcons? Like, he knows the possibility of that close-gen player playing with the pallet on the left, but there's the swing from Mercury, and Brandon, he's doing it again. Quad kill, he's up to 22.
That's chaotic. The fact that he swings that last angle on towards SunPayus, but I assume he thinks he's going to have an AWP, so he's only limited to whichever angle he wants to face. Still, element of surprise, but how many rounds is dupreeh going to be allowed these multi-kills? Sick trades from Mercury, because he completely saves the round from going into disarray, and for Falcons potentially collecting it and moving on towards Nuke. TYLOO are not over Vertigo.
Battling.
They changed the pace.
Yeah, I like it. Mercury, he's been the aim start, just put him in position to do work. And guess what? SunPayus has missed his shot, and Advent gets a chance to shine. Really important entry. These Falcons on a bit of an island on A.
Look at Jam Young in mid as well. There's every potential he could have gone for a little bit of a lurk. Thinks better of it. TYLOO have got such good space in towards ramp, and they know they've drawn rotations over, so they can reset and look elsewhere. That's why ZDR is probing over towards B. It's a complete reset. And if Falcons don't clear everything right now and rotate immediately, there's going to be no one there. You can see the shifting of the pieces moving back and forth. Advent still being quite loud. He wants to keep the attention here of the Falcons. He's done exactly that.
Ah, Advent, he's just managed to shift away as well. This is a pretty good call from TYLOO. Unless dupreeh can get cheeky kills from the window right now, he's actually going to be ahead of that molly, but no, he doesn't choose to go through it. He chooses to fall back. He knows the economic situation right now. So a full save makes the most sense by far. If they decide to go for this retake and lost all their guns, they'd basically be full eco. In this case, they can drop one in the following round and give TYLOO more headaches. But 6 turned into 5. Now it turns into 4 behind for TYLOO. You never know. Counter-Strike is strange.
Yeah, a couple of things there for TYLOO. Obviously, it's the missed shot from SunPayus that sets up Advent to grab that kill, but Advent does so much more work in this round. He then tucks, hides. Falcons are worried. They boost up, they look for information, they don't see anything, but then Advent just trickles down. His haven't got space over towards Crane. They've not got good positioning over towards Gap. They don't know how many players are actually lying in wait here at A, which is furthermore why it's such a good decision from TYLOO to contact as far up B as they did. They didn't telegraph the execute on that bomb site. dupreeh couldn't have had the early warning signals that smokes were flying in, mollies, which have been so characteristic of TYLOO here in the first place, to get some of these bomb sites, to crack them open with Mercury. So that slight variation earns them another round and gets the respect out of the Falcons by forcing them to save.
Good work again. I mean, this is a matchup which perhaps if maybe people who looked at it at the beginning of the tournament said, okay, well, if we end up with those two teams playing against each other, even Falcons versus the Mongols, Falcons should be in touch. Mongols managed to deal with them, and TYLOO are proving to be very respectable as well. And I think it is very fair to say that Mongols are considerably more proven internationally than TYLOO. So Falcons having an issue with these rosters.
It reminds me a lot of Apex at the major. They were struggling with the South American teams. It's Falcons struggling with the Asia-Pacific region. Smoke's being lined up in towards spawn, potentially. You see Jam Young looking at monitors. This double setup. This time it's the other way around. SunPayus is further back. dupreeh's on the off angle. TYLOO wants to go B yet again, and this is the right decision. There is no one here, nobody whatsoever, to greet them at the doorway.
Yeah, and SunPayus is being flashed off the angle as well. He'd have to hit a really difficult shot above the mid box there, as you can see, and couldn't do it. Bomb will go down. Are we in for a unicorn round here? Falcons only have one kit on Snappy. If, honestly, it's the boring option.
Yeah.
But the correct option. Absolutely to fall away. Unbelievable. We could have, well, not 1,000 HP, but near as makes no difference, intact at the end of this round.
Yeah, ZDR and SunPayus are also on 92 HP, so it's a mirror.
Exactly.
I can't believe that. It's the setup towards mid that they gamble that TYLOO aren't going to make the decision to go into B early, but they did exactly that. And the flashbangs, I've got to really commend these flashbangs at TYLOO. All half long have just been phenomenal, because when you see them routing in towards B, the most common position for a Falcons player to be is up on construction site. SunPayus was there, dupreeh was there, and they could not get involved because it's the flashbangs early, preventing their access, preventing their vision, and then they get blindsided by the molly, and it forces them completely out of the round. Frustration creeping in. Take a look at the faces. Madden raised eyebrows. 12-9. It's happening.
Note it down. 25th of April, 2024. A full 5v5 gun round, no kills in Pro League between Falcons and TYLOO. That's not one that's going to be on too many highlight reels, but still incredible to see how it played out. And the gap's gone from 6 to 3. It's been halved by TYLOO. And once again, they're insistent on poking and prodding on B. Utility towards Magis. Molotov's going to force him into the open. He might go down, but not before he fights for his life. He does well to go 1-for-1. And look at dupreeh hunting the player still in T-spawn. He pushes him away, but in comes Mercury again. Brilliant reaction from SunPayus, but that Molotov forces him away too. 3 versus 3. Minute in the round to go. Advent can shift forward and get the bomb plot, or can he? Ooh, the nade puts him down to 17. dupreeh will get flashed in, playing super aggressive, and he's done it again. Double from dupreeh. Leaves it all on Jamyoung. 1 versus 2. Can't connect with the AD of Snappy. And Falcons have found a way.
Indeed. Final round of play. Defuse gets locked up. Nuke is where it needs to be decided, but the Falcons just about hold on.